Hey everyone, welcome back to our fourth episode of our segment, 3 Questions. Today we are with the managing partner of Mas AJP, Mr. Albert Perez.
Good morning.
Nice to meet you. We want to kick off. Could you give like a backstory of what you guys do here at Mas AJP? Sure.
So here we're consisted of a family office with 2 divisions. We have a private equity side of our family office, and we have a commercial real estate side that encompasses acquisitions and development. I steer up the commercial real estate side of our family office.
But the first question, how did your whole passion for real estate start off?
So I, in my late teens, I kind of messed around with some acquisitions of some smaller properties. I was not in real estate full time at the time. I was actually working in media when I was in undergrad. When I graduated undergrad, I worked in media for a few more years, about a year and change, and decided that it wasn't for me. Always had a passion for commercial real estate. So I went to graduate school. I got my master's in finance. And after grad school, I got recruited by a very large office developer out of Texas. I was working in their Orlando office with the regional president overseeing Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas. Spending time in every facet of the company: development, capital markets, investment sales, project leasing, tenant representation, and just kind of getting a good grasp on what made up the full continuum of commercial real estate. My focus was always to gear myself towards the development side of the business by choice. I just had an affinity for it. So I spent about a year and a half to maybe 2 years with that firm. Great platform, great learning, education for me. I mean, to this day, I still apply a lot of our practices and a lot of what I learned with that firm, I apply to our company today. But like everybody else in this business, you kind of you get into it for many reasons, but one of them being more of an entrepreneurial, very opportunistic approach. And I was the same. I really wanted to go off and kind of start up my own platform, my own group, and I did that. So my business partner and I, my business partner still to today, embarked on doing our own projects, and here we are today, 18 years later, 19 years later.
You kind of started off working in a place where you see different aspects of the business, and you focus later on your development.
Correct. So as you well know, I mean, there's many different parts to our business. Probably too many to name, but the good thing about where I started was, once again, it just gave me a great exposure to the bigger elements of what comprises commercial real estate. And because of that experience and having gone through all those different departments and different facets of commercial real estate, again, I felt that the best thing that suited me, knowing my character and knowing what drives me and knowing what I like, was the development side of the business.
Yeah, development is completely different from brokerage or from any certain type of.
They all have their pros and cons, but yes, it's a different side of the business.
So our second question is, since you're a developer, you've done various projects, what is the one project that you're most proud of?
So that's a great question. I would say that every project, it's its own experience. Every project is something that obviously we learn from. Ultimately, for me, and where I'm at my life today, looking back, once again, you get into this business for obviously to provide for your family and make sure that they're protected, do right by yourself. Obviously be very entrepreneurial, but for me, it came a point in time where being opportunistic and doing deals in every different facet of the commercial real estate space was great, but I always wanted to kind of guide myself and guide our group into specific use, which is where we are today, kind of prioritizing the healthcare real estate side of commercial real estate. And If you ask me, looking back on what is the project that I'm most proud of, again, I'm proud of all of them, even the ones that we didn't do well in, because in our business, some go well, some go bad. But I'll tell you that I believe if I look back on my career, the project that I'm most proud of is actually my first true medical office building that we developed and built for many reasons. It was a great experience, it went well financially, but what that made me realize that in our job description and our responsibility as real estate developers, we have a responsibility to deliver to the community experiences, needs, fulfill, voids in the market that probably aren't there. And what I learned through that first medical office building was that you're delivering something to the community that's really needed. And there's nothing better, in my opinion, than being fulfilled in the sense that I'm doing great financially, but more importantly, I'm delivering something to humanity that's well needed. And there's nothing like walking a medical office building or a senior living community, which is what we're doing a lot of now as well, and actually seeing that you're making a difference in people's lives. So for me, that's the true definition of fulfillment. So I have to say that the project that I'm most proud of is my first true medical office building.
That's great. That's a great reason why, because there's a lot of developers out there that they don't have the same part or the same reason why they do what they do, right? And that's something that I acknowledge you on, and that's really truly awesome. That leads us to our third question, and how do you see Mas AJP in the next 10 years?
So, like I stated earlier, we when we started many years ago, again, we were very opportunistic and kind of staying ahead of where's there a void, where are the trends going, and truth be told, really doing conducting business in various aspects of commercial real estate. As time goes on, or as time went on, again, we kind of made it a focus to prioritize tranches of uses. And we've basically narrowed down our priority to healthcare real estate, which is encompassing just medical office building, whether multi-tenant, multi-specialty, or single user. And we're also doing a lot of what we're calling a mixed-use healthcare campus, which is encompassing a medical office component with senior living. We're also playing a lot in the space of workforce multi, but the healthcare side is what we're prioritizing. So when we sit here and we look at what the next 10 years look like for us, we're working on an endeavor now and set forth a business plan that we executed about 2 years ago with an outside date of December of 32 to grow our medical office portfolio to approximately 3 million square feet. We're making great progress. We also want to grow our senior housing exposure to a pretty large size as well. So once again, when I look at 10 years down the road, what we're striving to achieve is to continue to grow our presence within the healthcare real estate spectrum. Again, prioritizing the growth in medical office buildings and our senior living communities.
So you guys are trying to grow, expand. So
we're growing. As you well know, real estate is a geographical business. A geographical specific business. When you look at the goals that we've set for ourselves, we'll need to grow or continue to grow throughout the state of Florida, which is our priority. We're also growing throughout the Sun Belt, from Alabama through North Carolina. So yeah, we'll continue to grow because once again, to achieve the mandate that we've set for ourselves, to achieve that growth within South Florida will prove to be a little bit challenging. We're in a very dynamic marketplace right now, and we always will be. But to achieve that type of growth and that type of square footage, we're going to have to explore and continue to grow into other strong submarkets.
That's great. That's great. You have a good vision and good expectations for the future.
Yeah, you know, in our business, again, it really helps to be disciplined and have goals set for yourself, because, you know, with clear benchmarks, it's a great path to achieve your goals.
Yeah. So that's awesome. That's awesome. So that kind of concludes with the 3 questions, but I want to kind of throw something in there, something extra,
Sure.
which is, what is the best piece of business advice that you would give anybody in their business career?
The best advice that I could give, whether it's real estate or whether it's banking, whatever business you're in, the biggest piece of advice that I could give is to have patience. You know, we're living in an era today where, you know, the vast majority of people want instant gratification, and we need to be cognizant of the fact that things do not happen overnight, especially in real estate. You know, the ramp up in real estate is very long. You have to have passion for it. But if you stick to it and that passion remains, you have to be disciplined. You have to have patience, because with passion comes patience and discipline. My second piece of advice, especially in the real estate business, is to make an extra effort in establishing that core group of friends, of mentors, of advisors, especially very early on in your career, because that core group, no matter how little or how big it is, that core group is going to continue to grow with you throughout your career. And it's where deals will happen, is where advice will happen. You know, when I first started in this business, the gentleman who recruited me to the firm that I started with, the first time that I ever met him, he told me, we're in a contact sport. And it's the truth. You know, technology and software is great. It helps us to do our jobs better. It helps us to source deals. It helps us to do better underwriting and understand data, demand, etc. But at the end of the day, the human interaction and the human relationship side of this business will always be key. So patience and relationships.
That's awesome. That's great. That's great. So that wraps up with our interview for today. So you guys keep in mind that patience and establishing your core group with who you surround yourself with is a key takeaway. So thank you guys so much for watching episode 4 of 3 Questions. As always, God bless you and see you next time.